My name is Barry Jacobs. I live here in Santa Rosa in Sonoma County, and I'm a property manager. When my wife and I decided to buy a tiny home, I did a lot of research, and I would travel to wherever they were building them, and some you'd show up and it was an easy no. And when I showed up to tiny homes with such a professional, obviously well put together facilities, that was a big sales point for me. I mean, there were two big reasons I chose to buy. One is I had done the research and they were very legit, very professional. Jasmine was a salesperson that didn't oversell it. She just showed us the tiny homes. I got to go see one, which was huge. The other reason I really went to them at the very end was they're one of the very few tiny home facilities that you buy it, and when they're done, they don't just say, come get it. It's up to you to get it on your property and hook it up. Part of the process of buying this here is they brought it to me, they hooked it up, they made it sure it was complete, and that was a very calming, like, oh good, because I had heard some other people that had showed up and they didn't know how to center it and get it leveled and plumb it, and so that was a huge California and out of state looking at different companies. And I happened to be down in San Diego looking at a different company, and there was a home show going, and you guys were there, and when I got there, the sales was so refreshing. They weren't high pressure, they just showed us what they had. Jasmine was the one that was helping me, and she was so patient, because it took me about 4 months of back and forth questions before I really pulled the trigger. But the low pressure, the honesty, there was a ton of honesty, which was really nice. I could ask her a question and the real answer would come back, which was nice. Turned out to be a guest bedroom for us, there's a ton of advantages to that. One is when my adult children and their children come to visit, they like to get away from mom and dad during the evenings and have time to themselves, which was nice. Really nice thing about it is there's no property tax attached to this. So it's like having an entire extra bedroom with a kitchen and a bathroom, and really just not having to pay any extra taxes on it. That's really positive. Well, first, do a lot of research on who you're buying it from. There's a lot of companies out there that are scary at best. Really do your research. Second, it's really important to know the costs that are up and above buying a tiny home, hooking up the plumbing, the electricity, the sewage, leveling it correctly, even putting a deck around it. Those are all costs that you don't really think about. But when they get it here and you start having to do it, they can creep up on you. Yeah. It was, besides adding the deck, giving it a full like house feeling, was I ended up, and it wasn't that expensive, covering the wheels with the same material, and you can tell it takes away that look of a trailer, and I think it really adds to the house. So I'll give you a tour. Come on in, and I'll show you this is for our grandkids' bedroom. I have 5 of them now, and they come here and they can bunk and they can sleep underneath it. And it's nice because their parents can stay upstairs, which I'll show you in a sec. So this has got a nice little sliding door. It's private. We did some aftermarket stuff. We added a chandelier, and then we painted the stairs. After, my wife and I like to decorate. We really like the look of this. It's awesome. One of my favorite things about this is that they added this banister. One of my favorite things is the banister. They added it to us. It really adds a class to it, keeps it open. And I'm gonna let you go upstairs because you'll see it's a king size bed up there. And so it's really, really spacious. So this is the kitchen. It's got a little nice sitting area here. It's also got the stove, but we cover it up so we can use it to put things on top of. We're also finding all the little miniature things we can and just leaving them around just for fun. It's got the sink, big drawers, nice cabinets. Trying to think what else here. Yeah. One of the nice things is that Pacifica Tiny Homes is really willing to work with us on any custom stuff. So I had this customed out because usually you can put a full refrigerator here. And since we were using it for an extra bedroom, we went with a smaller fridge and a microwave on the side, and they built that for us. And then we have the cabinets, which they built to what we asked, which was really nice. And again, a lot of storage. And then this is where the washer and dryer is designed to be. And since we didn't get the full refrigerator, we got to give it a little bit wider. And I built the desk in here so that I can play COD and do my work. This is my home office, and it's great. That part is super. So one of the upgrades that we really like is this indoor. It's inside the door, so that you can have privacy or light. Either way, it's really nice. So that was a good one. So one of the things that we discovered that works really well in these tiny homes are these bottom down, top up shades. So that if you just want, like you just saw open, but if you want to walk around and maybe in the evening where you don't want people to see you, you can still have this and they can't see in. I have those on all, not super expensive, and they're great. Built, and we had it lowered 4 inches. And so it's lower to the ground. So if you were driving this around, if you were somebody that wasn't going to just be stationary driving around, you probably don't want to do that. But if it's going to be stationary, what you get is an extra 4 inches of roof or ceiling. So when you sit up in the middle of the night, you don't bash your head. It really adds, that little bit adds a lot. So the bathroom is really nice too. And I'm going to let you walk past me because it's easier.
Okay.
But if you see the size of the shower, it's just super big and comfortable and so worth it. Some of the tiny homes that we were looking at had those little, like I would call them almost airplane showers, tiny little tube showers, and then I added a bidet instead of a regular toilet. And the idea that was less paper in my septic, so it's great. And it's a big bathroom, which is really nice. The advice I give is do your research on the things that, like the electrical and the plumbing. Like talk to an electrician, talk to a plumber before you purchase it to see what it's going to take. Like the sewage, where are you going to put the sewage? How is the sewage going to be handled? Those knowing up front would be really, it's not a negative surprise at the end. So I would recommend that. And really decide what you're using it for. For us, knowing it was a guest house, I probably was going to live here. I'd probably go a little bit wider, but I didn't need it. So I went with the standard 8.5, and I think I would have gone with a little bit wider. And it's not that much more money to do that, and it's something I would have thought of.